Dr. Elara Miles' boots crunched on the alien soil of Zephiria, a sound that echoed faintly under the twin suns setting at the horizon. The landscape was a canvas of sharp contrasts, jagged rocks casting long shadows, and in the distance, the ghostly glow of the bioluminescent forest marked the boundary of human knowledge and alien wilderness. Zephiria was untamed, its beauty as perilous as it was picturesque. As the last of her crew's shuttles descended with a muted roar, Elara turned her gaze upward. The sky, a tapestry of swirling violets and deep blues, was unlike anything she had witnessed on Earth. She pulled her datapad from her belt, documenting the initial readings. The air was breathable, a touch thin and crisp, similar to high altitudes back home, but with a hint of something foreign, an essence that couldn't be quantified by sensors alone. Dr. Miles, all systems show green. Habitat modules are intact and online, reported Jensen, her second in command, over the comlink. Elara nodded, her focus unyielding. Each module that thumped gently onto the dusty surface was a lifeline, a bubble of Earth normalcy in the vast unknown. As the crew busied themselves with the offloading, Elara's thoughts lingered on the mission ahead. Terraforming Zephiria was a daunting task, one she had volunteered for, driven by a blend of scientific curiosity and a desperate need to find new frontiers for humanity. Earth was teetering on the brink of environmental collapse, and planets like Zephiria represented a flicker of hope in the looming darkness. The encampment quickly took shape under the efficient hands of her team. The habitat units, with their sleek metallic surfaces, stood stark against the natural landscape, a testament to human ingenuity and resolve. Elara watched as the biologists and engineers moved with practiced precision, each aware of the stakes. Night fell abruptly, as it does on Zephiria, the twin suns dipping below the horizon and plunging the world into a deep, alien twilight. It was then that the forest in the distance came alive, its bioluminescence intensifying. Waves of light, pulsating gently, beckoned to her. Elara felt a primal pull towards it, a siren call that spoke of mysteries and ancient secrets nestled within its radiant depths. "Beautiful, isn't it?" murmured Dr. Hassan, her chief biologist, coming to stand beside her. His voice was soft, filled with the same wonder that held her captive. "It's more than that," Elara responded, her voice tinged with reverence. "It's a signal, a beacon. There's life here, possibly unlike anything we've encountered before." Their conversation was cut short by a sudden crackle over the radio. "Dr. Miles, we have movement at the perimeter." Well, it looks like we're not alone here." Elara stiffened, her hand instinctively going to the sidearm she hoped she wouldn't need. With a curt nod to Hassan, she strode towards the edge of the camp, her eyes scanning the darkening landscape. The security lights threw sharp beams across the rocky ground, and there, just beyond the reach of the light, figures watched. They were silhouettes against the glowing forest, their forms blurred, but unmistakably sentient. Elara's heart raced with a cocktail of emotions: fear, excitement, but above all, determination. Humanity hadn't traversed the void of space to falter at the first sign of challenge. She lifted her chin, meeting the gaze of the figures hidden in the shadows. "We come in peace," she announced into the radio, her voice firm. "We hope to learn, to share, and to grow together. Let us meet with open hearts and open minds." The figures remained motionless, their intentions unreadable. But Elara sensed a shift, a palpable change in the air. Zephiria was her gamble, a chance to pioneer a future for her species. Whatever response awaited her from the shadows, she knew they had crossed an invisible threshold into the annals of cosmic history. Under the celestial gaze of Zephiria's twin moons, the human encampment buzzed with energy, its floodlights piercing the darkness. Inside the central habitat, screens flickered with streams of data as Elara Miles monitored the terraforming drones working outside. Their task was monumental, adjusting the atmosphere and enriching the soil to support Earth-like life. The progress was tangible. Already, small patches of genetically modified lichen clung to the rocky substrate, converting Zephiria's thin air into a richer blend with each passing day. Yet, Ilara's mind was not on the lichen. It was fixated on the looming bioluminescent forest, a vibrant entity that seemed to pulsate with a life of its own. Suddenly, a red alert flashed across the screen. Oxygen levels fluctuating beyond predicted models in Sector 3, reported a technician, her voice tense. Ilara peered at the data, her brow furrowed. The sector was adjacent to the glowing forest, and the readings were erratic, disturbingly so. Could the terraforming be affecting the forest? Dr. Hassan suggested, his tone laced with concern. Ilara considered this, her gaze shifting to the live feed displaying the forest's edges. The vibrant colors seemed dimmer, the pulsing slower. Let's investigate. Prepare an environmental probe. I want samples, Ilara decided, her command slicing through the uncertainty. Hours later, Ilara and a small team stood at the perimeter of the bioluminescent forest. The air was thick with the scent of alien flora, a sharp, tangy aroma that tingled in their nostrils. With careful steps, they launched the probe, watching as it burrowed into the soil and disappeared beneath the glowing undergrowth. Back at the camp, the results were troubling. The forest's bioluminescence is fueled by a complex ecosystem of fungi and photobacteria, Hassan explained, pointing to the colorful graphs. Our terraforming efforts are introducing nitrogen compounds that these organisms can't tolerate. It's poisoning them. Ilara's heart sank. The ramifications were immediate and severe. If the forest died, it could destabilize the entire planetary ecosystem they knew so little about. As the team deliberated, a new problem arose. A series of seismic tremors shook the camp, spilling coffee cups and toppling unsecured equipment. Terraforming shouldn't cause this, one engineer exclaimed, pulling up seismic data. The forest? Ilara gasped, a realization dawning. It's connected. We need to halt all terraforming operations near the forest immediately. But the decision came too late. That night, as Ilara patrolled the camp's perimeter, she saw them figures emerging from the shadows of the forest. They were tall, their skins shimmering with the same bioluminescence as the trees around them. The leader, a figure with piercing eyes that reflected the moonlight, stepped forward. "You are killing our heart," he said, his voice a melodic timbre that resonated with the night air. It was Scylla Vox, the leader she had seen on the first night. Ilara felt a chill run down her spine. "Your heart?" "The forest," Scylla gestured towards the dimming glow. "It is the heart of Zephiria. It sustains us, connects us, and your actions poison it." Guilt and resolve warred within Ilara. "I didn't know. We didn't realize it would harm anything. Let us help fix this." Scylla's gaze was skeptical, his stance guarded. "Many cycles ago, others came. Like you, they promised harmony, but brought only decay. How are you different?" Ilara met his gaze, her resolve steeling. "Because we will stop at nothing to make this right. Let us work together, learn from each other. Your knowledge of this planet is vast, ours of terraforming deep. Together, we can harmonize our efforts." The silence that followed was tense, filled with the weight of decisions yet to be made. Finally, Scylla nodded slowly. "We will watch. We will guide. But should you fail, this alliance ends." With that, he retreated into the forest, the glow enveloping him and his entourage as they disappeared from sight. Ilara watched them go, a mix of relief and determination settling in her chest. The next day brought a tangible shift in the camp's operations. Scylla returned, this time with others from his community. They moved through the camp with a quiet grace, observing, occasionally pointing out adjustments. Under their guidance, the team recalibrated the terraforming equipment, introducing filters and inhibitors designed to protect the native biosphere. Ilara spent hours with Scylla, walking through the forest, learning about each glowing plant and creature. Amid the cool hues of dawn, Dr. Ilara Miles stood surveying the bioluminescent forest, now a beacon of faint hope rather than a vibrant testament to alien life. With each day's progress, her resolve hardened. The survival of Zephiria's forest became more than a mission, it was a moral imperative. The terraforming pause had brought a fragile peace, but it was not enough. The subtle dimming of the forest continued, each day leaching a bit more life from its alien splendor. Scylla Vox, who had become a frequent shadow by her side, seemed a constant reminder of the ticking clock they all faced. "Scylla, we need a new approach," Ilara stated as they walked along a path shimmering with dew and soft light. "Our efforts to reduce the nitrogen outputs are not sufficient. There's something we're missing." Scylla nodded, his expression thoughtful. "The forest breathes, Dr. Miles. It breathes in ways your machines do not understand. Perhaps you need to listen more closely." Her scientific mind buzzed at his suggestion. Listening, perhaps, there was merit in a method less intrusive and more observant. "Do you have studies, records of the forest cycles?" "In a manner of speaking," Scylla replied, gesturing to a clearing where the glow pulsated slightly stronger. He knelt, placing his hands on the moist earth. "We learn from the forest by being part of it, by feeling its rhythms. We haven't your technology, but we have understanding." Inspired, Ilara contacted her team. "I want full sensory arrays placed around this section by noon. Audio, thermal, anything that can give us real-time feedback." The arrays were subtle, designed to blend into the forest floor. As the data streamed in, patterns began to emerge, subtle fluctuations in temperature and sound that corresponded with the forest's glow. The breakthrough came when Hassan correlated these patterns with Zephiria's diurnal cycles. "It's not just chemical," Hassan explained excitedly. "It's biorhythmic. The forest's glow responds to natural cycles, likely tied to the planet's magnetic field. We've been disrupting these with our equipment." Ilara seized on this. "If we can modulate our terraforming processes to align with these rhythms, perhaps we can minimize further disruptions." Working with Scylla's people, they devised a plan. Terraforming operations would now follow the natural rhythms of the planet, an intricate dance of science and native wisdom. This new protocol required precise adjustments and constant monitoring, tasks that Ilara and her team tackled with renewed vigor. The changes were small at first, a lessening of the tremors, a slight brightening of the forest's edge. But as days turned into weeks, the improvements became undeniable. The forest began to thrive again, its glow deepening to the vibrant hues that had first enchanted the human arrivals. One evening, as the twin moons cast a silvery glow over Zephiria, Ilara and Scylla stood watching the forest from the edge of the camp. The air was filled with the fresh, tangy scent of alien flora, now flourishing under the watchful eyes of two species working as one. "We are learning, Scylla," Ilara said, her voice low but full of emotion. "Not just about your forest, but about how to live within a world without dominating it." Scylla turned to her, his face illuminated by the soft light of the forest. "And we are learning that not all outsiders bring destruction. You bring hope." Their collaborative effort had not only stabilized the forest, but had fostered an unprecedented exchange of knowledge and culture. The Zephirians taught the humans their environmental philosophies, deeply rooted in an understanding of natural balance and respect. In turn, Ilara's team shared their scientific methods, opening up new possibilities for the Zephirians to enhance their own practices without technology. This partnership, once unthinkable, was now a beacon of mutual respect and cooperation. As they walked back to the camp, their path lit by the gentle glow of the forest, Ilara felt a profound connection to this strange new world. Zephiria was no longer just a planet to be terraformed. It was a shared home, a place of common ground between human ingenuity and alien wisdom. The forest, thriving under their joint care, was a testament to what could be achieved when different worlds came together, not in conquest, but in collaboration. The turning point had indeed been reached, marking not an end, but a promising new chapter in the annals of humanity's journey among the stars. As the first rays of Zephiria's morning sun cut through the alien foliage, the human encampment awoke to a scene of harmonious activity. Dr. Elara Miles watched as her team, now seamlessly integrated with Celovox's Zephirian experts, moved through their morning routines. Each group shared insights and equipment, a once unimaginable collaboration that had become the lifeblood of their mission. Today was significant. After weeks of combined efforts, the team was ready to implement a revolutionary new terraforming protocol, one that promised to amplify the symbiotic relationship between human technology and Zephirian natural wisdom. In the command tent, Elara briefed her team, her eyes reflecting the gravity of the moment. "This is more than just a test. It's a testament to what we've achieved here together," she stated, surveying the room where human faces and bioluminescent Zephirian features were lit by the same hopeful glow. "Let's make sure everything goes according to plan." Outside, the terraformers were recalibrated to operate in sync with the natural pulses of the forest. These machines, once blunt instruments of human ambition, had been refined into tools of delicate precision. They now worked in harmony with the planet, their emissions tailored to support the forest growth cycles. The initial results were better than anyone had dared hope. The forest's glow intensified, its light pulsing stronger and more vibrant with each passing hour. Measurements showed a significant drop in the residual toxins in the soil and air, clear evidence that their new approach was working. Scylla joined Elara at the edge of the forest, watching the interplay of light and life with a serene expression. "Your people understand now," he said, his voice a soft murmur against the backdrop of rustling leaves. "They see not just with their eyes, but with their hearts." Elara nodded, feeling a profound sense of achievement and connection. "And your people have shown us that there is wisdom in every leaf and breeze," she replied. "We've learned to listen, truly listen, to the heartbeat of Zephiria." The improvements were not just ecological. The collaboration had sparked a cultural exchange that enriched both communities. Zephirians shared their celebrations and stories, painting a vivid picture of their history and values. Humans reciprocated with their own tales and technological showcases, creating a blend of festivities that became a monthly highlight. As the day drew to a close, the team gathered around a newly erected structure that served both as a lab and a meeting place. This building, constructed from materials harvested on Zephiria and designed with both human and Zephirian aesthetics, stood as a physical symbol of their unity. It was here that they would continue their work, pushing the boundaries of science and diplomacy. The gathering was informal, yet full of ceremony. Elara and Scylla addressed the group, their speeches touching on themes of gratitude, hope, and the future. When the formalities were over, the air filled with laughter and music, a sound as magical as the forest's glow. "This is what peace looks like," Elara thought, as she mingled with the crowd, her heart light with the joy of success. The challenges they had faced seemed smaller now, eclipsed by the victories they had won together. As night descended and the forest began its luminous symphony, Elara realized that they had not only changed Zephiria, Zephiria had changed them. This planet was no longer just a destination or a project. It was a home, a shared vision brought to life by the unity of two species once divided by stars. In this new harmony, humanity found not just survival, but a thriving partnership, a testament to the incredible feats possible when different worlds choose collaboration over conquest. As dawn broke over the horizon, bathing Zephiria in hues of gold and crimson, Dr. Elara Miles stood on the outskirts of the rejuvenated forest, witnessing the fruition of their collaborative efforts. The air was vibrant with the energy of life, the forest's glow, now a beacon of health and a symbol of symbiotic success. Elara watched as Zephirian children mingled with human scientists, their laughter blending with the morning calls of alien birds, a melody of interspecies harmony. This was a vision of the future, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of life in all its forms. Sila Vox approached, his stride confident and his face lit by the forest's luminescence. "Dr. Miles," he greeted, his tone respectful and warm. The heart of Zephiria beat strong again, thanks to our united efforts. Elara nodded, her eyes reflecting the forest's vibrant light. "It does, Sila. And it's more than just survival. Now it's about flourishing together. This," she gestured broadly at the thriving landscape, "this is our shared legacy." As they walked back towards the community center, they discussed plans for further ecological projects and cultural exchanges. The path they had forged here on Zephiria would serve as a model for future human and alien collaborations across the stars.